Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Brooklyn Quartermain, Amanda Seton, has called a family meeting to discuss Gio Palmieri, Giovanni Mazza, Dante Falconeri, Dominic Zamprogna, has come down really hard on Gio for Rocco Falconeri's Finn car alcohol poisoning, despite his having little involvement. BLQ knows that Gio is really beating himself up over it, and she wants the family to let it go. Ned Quartermain, Wally Kurth, agrees with Lois Cerullo, Raina Sofer, that they all would have done exactly what Gio did when they were his age. Gio overhears enough of the conversation to finally step into the room and once again take accountability for not bringing Rocco to the hospital. He apologizes again and says that he hopes that eventually they will forgive him. Gio leaves, and Lois follows to reassure him. Gio tells her that he appreciates all that the family has done for him, but he is no longer a little orphan. He can stand on his own. Olivia Quartermain, Lisa Locicero, joins them and praises Gio for being brave enough to speak to the whole family at once. Eventually, Dante joins the rest of the family and is brought up to speed on the family meeting. Brooklyn asks him to back off of Gio, and he tells her that she will understand once she has kids. Dante meant no harm, but BLQ can't help but be hurt by the comment. Meanwhile, in the Q's kitchen, Sasha Corbin, Sophia Matson, is joined by Jason Morgan, Steve Burton. She tells him about her chat with Dante and how she tried to make him go easier on Danny. Their conversation is interrupted by a knock at the door. Sasha is served for Michael and Willow Corinthos, Caitlin McMullen, custody hearing. She and Jason then worry that maybe someone has figured out that Michael is actually her baby's father. Curtis Ashford, Donald Turner, has called Drew Kane, Cameron Matheson, to his office and asks him point-blank if he is blackmailing his wife, Portia Robinson, Brooke Kerr. Drew runs through a whole hypothetical explanation and lays out exactly what he has on Portia for Curtis. How he knows she changed lab results in an attempt to keep Heather Weber locked up, and besides losing her medical license if caught, Portia also committed a felony. Drew mentions how the truth would destroy Trina Robinson, Tabyana Ali, and Curtis tells him to keep his daughter out of it. Drew makes his demands of Curtis and leaves. Curtis then plays back a bit of the recording of the conversation that he just made, and in the hallway, Drew calls Max Scorpio, John J. York, and tells him that he knows exactly who drugged him. Lulu Spencer, Alexa Havens, and Cody Bell, Josh Kelly, are on a mission to figure out if Gio is the baby that Brooke Lynn gave up for adoption in 2003. There is no birth record for him in LA that June, so Lulu starts digging to find Camilla's location at the top. With Cody's help, she is able to place her on tour in New Zealand, not Los Angeles. Lulu calls the members of the quartet that Camilla played with, and one calls back. She tells Lulu that Camilla quit the quartet in May of 2003 without warning, causing their tour to be canceled. She also sends a photo of a definitely not pregnant Camilla from the tour. Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watros, drops by to talk to Carly Spencer, Laura Wright, about their grandchildren. She is upset because Willow has been served and a June 2nd court date is on the docket. Carly tells Nina that she has given up on getting Willow away from Drew and that she needs to get her grandchildren out of there. Carly goes on to not only call Willow a bad mother, but she says that the only way Willow could be worse is if she had been raised by Nina. The two continue to trade insults until Carly smacks Nina in the face. Then they end up down and rolling on the floor until Jocelyn Jacks, Eden McCoy, comes running in to break them up. She pulls Nina off of Carly and holds her back until she leaves on her own, but not before promising that Carly will never get custody. Carly then explains to Joss about the custody hearing, and Joss tells her that she needs to talk to Michael before doing anything else. Meanwhile, Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Bernard, has popped up on Willow to discuss custody. He believes that she is a good mother and that they can reach an agreement without going to court. Willow tells him that she thought so too, but when she went to visit Michael in Germany, he wouldn't even see her. Sunny tells her that makes no sense at all because Michael has told him that he wants joint custody. He insists that if Willow requests to postpone the hearing until Michael is able to be there in person, it will work out just fine. Willow sees the logic and agrees to do it until Nina bursts in freaking out over her confrontation with Carly. Willow storms out furious, and San-I in turn lays into Nina. He says that he went to Willow for her sake, so that she would have her kids. All she had to do was postpone things. Nina's interruption seems to have changed her mind, and if she faces Carly in court, she is more likely to lose. Port Charles was ablaze with emotion, secrets, and a whole lot of screaming on the May 19th episode of General Hospital. As tensions escalated and confrontations finally boiled over, two storylines stole the spotlight: Lulu's relentless quest for the truth about Gio, and Carly and Nina's emotional powder keg finally erupting in spectacular fashion. Lulu's gamble, the truth about Gio breaks loose. The episode opened with Lulu Spencer sitting alone at Charlie's pub, flipping through a manila folder she'd received the night before. Her face was tight with focus, and a glint of anger shimmered in her eyes. Dante's voice echoed in her head, warning her not to go digging into mob business. But Lulu was never one to back down from the truth, especially when her son's safety might be on the line. "I knew it," she whispered under her breath as she stared at a photograph tucked into the folder. Gio, Sunny's so-called intern, seen handing off a suspicious-looking package in an alley on the outskirts of Port Charles. The timestamp was from 3 nights ago. Before she could process the rest, Maxie rushed in, frantic. "You said it was urgent. What's going on?" Maxie asked, eyes darting from Lulu to the folder. Lulu closed the folder quickly. "I think Sunny's intern is involved in something dangerous, maybe something illegal." Maxie froze. "Gio? That sweet boy? He helped me carry Georgie's birthday cake." "Sweet boys don't meet mystery men with duffel bags in the dark," Lulu said coolly. "And I'm not letting Rocco get any closer to him until I figure out who he really is." Later at the Metro Court, Lulu met with Alexis. After some convincing and mention of Gio's possible proximity to Christina and Molly, Alexis agreed to discreetly pull some court records. Lulu's instincts were firing on all cylinders. This wasn't just about Gio, it was about protecting her family from yet another wave of Corinthos chaos. Back at Sunny's penthouse, Gio, oblivious to the storm brewing, played chess with Donna. He smiled, relaxed, even charming. But the audience knew better. There was something flickering beneath the surface. When Sunny returned home, Gio tensed for a split second too long. Was that guilt? Fear? Or something more calculated? Carly and Nina. No more holding back. Meanwhile, the Metro Court was the scene of a long-awaited eruption. Carly Corinthos and Nina Reeves had danced around their mutual hatred for months, but the thin veil of civility finally shredded. The setup was innocuous. A brief encounter in the lobby as Nina tried to finalize a Crimson photo shoot booking, and Carly arrived for a coffee meeting. They exchanged the usual frost-bitten greetings, but then a comment about Donna's recent school fundraiser pushed Carly over the edge. "Oh, please," Carly snapped. "You wouldn't know anything about real motherhood if it smacked you in the face." Nina stiffened. "You're still bitter because Willow chose peace over your permanent drama." Carly stepped closer. "Peace? You manipulated her entire life and tried to erase me. That's not peace. That's a power trip." Nina smirked. "And what's your endless meddling called? Noble sacrifice?" A few guests at the bar began glancing over as the argument grew louder. Carly's voice raised. "You betrayed every single person in this town and thought you could come back wearing a dress and a smile and get away with it. I see you, Nina." "And I see you, Carly," Nina shouted back. "You act like Port Charles belongs to you, but it doesn't. You don't get to gatekeep love, loyalty, or family." Just then, Drew entered the lobby and instinctively stepped between them. "Enough!" he barked, his voice echoing. "People are staring." "Let them stare," Carly hissed. Eyes locked on Nina, but the words didn't stop. Nina stepped around Drew. "You cost me my daughter's wedding. You cost me time. You took everything from me and still pretend to be the victim. You took your own time when you called the SEC on me." Carly snapped. "Let's not rewrite history just because it doesn't flatter you." Nina's face darkened. "You think I wouldn't do it again?" Before either woman could lunge, Olivia rushed in, dragging them both into a side conference room, desperate to avoid headlines. But even with a door between them and the public, the fight escalated. "I've stayed quiet for months," Carly growled. "But now you're slinking around Wiley's school and popping up at every charity event like you're the Queen of Port Charles? You're not even the jester." "And you're not God," Nina screamed. "You don't get to judge me forever. I'm not going to apologize for wanting my family back." There was a long silence, and for a moment, the two women stared at each other, breathing heavily. Raw emotion hung in the air: loss, rage, disappointment, guilt. It wasn't just about Sunny or Willow or even the SEC. It was years of betrayal, longing, and broken dreams all colliding in one claustrophobic room. "I loved Sunny," Nina said quietly. "And I lost him. You think that doesn't kill me every day?" Carly's voice was ice. "Then maybe stay away from the people who still love him." Elsewhere in Port Charles, Christina and Molly continued their uneasy détente, with Christina trying to help prepare for the baby, while Molly worried about the looming legal minefield around the surrogacy. Christina, still glowing from her recent therapy breakthrough, seemed committed to change. But her temper threatened to bubble when Molly questioned her judgment again. Trina and Spencer had a quiet moment in the park. They talked about starting fresh, away from the shadows of Esme and Cassadine drama. But Spencer hesitated when Trina brought up a potential job in Paris. "Are you saying we should move?" he asked, cautious. "I'm saying we deserve something beautiful," she replied. "And Port Charles, it's always chaos." Spencer nodded slowly, but the gears in his head were clearly turning. Would he finally choose love over legacy? Meanwhile, Ava received a mysterious note at Gallery Jerome. 5 words. "You're next. Watch your back." Ava's hands trembled as she reached for a glass of wine. Could it be Nicholas? Or someone darker? From her past? End of the line, Lulu makes a move. By the end of the episode, Lulu returned to her apartment and laid out all the evidence: photos, reports, witness statements. Then, with a shaky hand, she picked up her phone. "Dante," she said when he answered. "I know you told me to drop it, but I have proof Gio's working both sides of the law. I'm bringing it in tomorrow. We can't ignore this." A pause. "No, I'm not scared, but maybe he should be." Coming up this week. Sunny confronts Gio about missing cash. Carly tells Willow about her fight with Nina, and Willow makes a shocking choice. Lulu's evidence reaches the DA's office, but someone breaks in overnight. Ava takes her suspicions to Anna, who discovers a link to Pikeman, and Esme resurfaces, barefoot, desperate, and on the run. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our GH News 24 YouTube channel for more update news.